I'm really excited to announce that Lisa, Trevor, and I just got back from market. We were in Las Vegas picking out all new things to show you guys. Brand new stock of gold earrings, fashion pieces. I mean, I can't even name everything that we saw that we cannot wait to show you guys. So come visit us at Bell Jewelers and see all the new pieces that we picked out for you. Bell Jewelers, 821 Northwest Broad Street, across from Toots.
Learn to make money 5 ways with rental real estate. Double your money with apartments. And get your map to financial freedom. And that map starts with a free workshop. Sign up now at lifestylesunlimited.com. Click on the Join Free Workshop tab and attend online or in person. That's lifestylesunlimited.com. Lifestylesunlimited.com. Again, that's lifestylesunlimited.com. Limited seating, unlimited potential.
Hey guys, this is Scott. If you're often feeling tired, notice a lack of motivation and drive, or weight gain and loss of muscle mass, these could all be signs of low testosterone levels. I recommend Low T Center. It's where I get my levels checked. With their on-site lab, you'll get your results in about 25 minutes. Low T Center is not your typical doctor's office either. It's concierge medicine for men, and their physicians specialize in treating low testosterone with a customized treatment plan for each patient. The experts at Low T Center have over a decade of experience helping patients achieve life-changing results, and most health insurance is accepted for treatment. And at Low T Center, they have convenient treatment options, including physician-monitored self-inject treatment for established patients that ship directly to your home each month. Right now at Low T Center, it's only $25 to get your testosterone level tested. You'll get your results in about 25 minutes. So get back to your best. Go to lowtcenter.com to book your appointment online today. That's lowtcenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
This is Good Neighbor Events with Bart Walker. Brought to you by the law offices of John Day and AmeriCare Pest Control.
I've got
Here's Tom Sweat with AmeriCare Services Incorporated.
AmeriCare's moisture control services include mold testing, mold remediation, crawl space repair, vapor barrier, sump pump installation, radon testing, radon mitigation, and basement waterproofing. If there's something wrong in your crawl space or basement, we can probably help. Just ask for a free inspection.
893-7111.
all the best of the best to get rid of your pest.
AmeriCare Services Incorporated.
WGNS encourages you to shop local. Let's patronize our local family businesses. Give the gift of life. The Red Cross is critically low on blood. Our Murfreesboro Red Cross is at 501 Memorial Boulevard. So call the Red Cross and make an appointment to give blood at a time that fits your schedule. The free Movies Under the Stars, a service of Murfreesboro Parks and Recreation Department, continues through July the 27th, and the movies start at dark. On Monday night, they're over at Barfield Crescent Park. Thursdays at the Richard Siegel Neighborhood Park, and Saturdays at the Fountains at Gateway. The free Movies Under the Stars. Hey, do you have your tickets for Main Street's Taste of Rutherford? You need to get them. That'll be Saturday night, July the 13th, 6 until 9 at Oakland's Mansion. A Taste of Rutherford features over 25 of Murfreesboro's finest restaurants. You talk about delicious. And it benefits the Main Street Murfreesboro program. Get with Main Street and get your Taste of Rutherford tickets right now. Those are WGNS Good Neighbor events.
Rutherford weather.
We'll see sunny skies here this afternoon, a high in the upper 90s. Tonight, mostly clear, low of 71. Wednesday, chance for showers and storms late, a high of 97. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki on News Radio WGNS.
Currently, it's 79.
Broadcasting from the Middle Tennessee Electric Studios. MTE serves members with more than just electricity. Their community outreach team works with schools, parents, and students to provide engaging and unique learning experiences. MTE serving to make life better since 1936.
This is the Roundtable from News Radio WGNS on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna. Listen and watch at WGNSradio.com.
And good morning and welcome back to the second segment of Tuesday Mornings with Rick and Wayne. And it's our pleasure this morning to have the Mayor Blackman and the owner of Batey Farms, Mr. John L. Batey. I feel like I've known you all my life, but I know I've known you since '85, but I'm not quite sure about before then.
Well, you were still in school back then.
Time has passed, hasn't it?
You was asking about past, but I went to came from seminary, went to Murfreesboro, went to Old Critchlow School 4 years, rode a county bus, came to a city school, and then they built Mitchell Nilsson. And since that was closer, then I went 4 years to Mitchell Nilsson, because when we started on Critchlow, the school was crowded, the basement, the library, all had been taken, classrooms, the Cox Memorial Gym, desk in it, and they had another school. In 4 years leaving Mitchell Nilsson, graduating, that was full. They had a clinic in there, and the gym was filled up, and divided the gym with a desk. We're in big boxes stacked up too high. I know it's real safe. The boxes.
Wow.
And kept building. Schools have been behind and been building all of my life, and went to Central, and we were over in the old building. Part of it, and new building had been built, and they kept adding on. When we were there and we left, they were still adding on another part of it. But went to Central, then went to MTSU.
Central at one time was the largest high school in the state, was it not?
I don't know whether it's been at Oak Ridge or
okay.
Kingsport up there.
Okay.
Somewhere. I don't know.
I just seemed to think, especially during the championship years, they're just.
Yes. Now I do know. Trying to think of his name. Years ago, the played football at University of Tennessee. Jellicoe was the center and went on somewhere to play, but he came back and he was the coach at Oak Ridge, and Central was high, and there was a championship game, and Oak Ridge turned it down. Central was in it, going to have a state championship. This is for the Clinic Bowl and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And Oak Ridge was due to play, but if they couldn't play Central, they didn't want to play, because Central was the one they was wanting to beat.
Oh, okay.
Central, but yeah, we had, well, it was the only school there before they split and had Riverdale and then Oakland out of there, and
Yes,
then they
sir.
both all got good teams.
Yes, sir. Let's talk a little bit about Wilbur.
Mentioned in the graveyard a while ago, Wilbur's in the graveyard.
Yes,
too.
I kind of figured.
He's a family member.
He brought a lot of smiles to a lot of children over the years.
Well, yes, that was a different time and a different role than ever been in my life.
Well, kind of set the stage a little bit for those that don't know, because
Wilbur was a Spig, but Charlotte's Web,
right?
The book that E.B. White done. His granddaughter, they were coming out with a Wilbur movie, and E.B. White's granddaughter decided to come out with a book and wanted a picture of a pig on the book. Now, this is coming out of New York. And I got a call from Phyllis Ferguson, because she was executive director of the pork producers. I was the state president. She said, "I got a group telling me the stories coming out of New York, and got a call from Nashville, but Opryland had closed. The photographer, or one she was working at the book company in New York, he worked at Opryland, and he knew of an animal photographer in Nashville. So that kind of started, and they didn't really know, just get something close to Nashville where you ain't got to go a long ways out. So they called and came out, and photographer did and looked over, I think, 4 or 5 different sizes, pigs, different ages, sent back, and about a week later they decided to go with the baby pig. So we went, they were going to come out for a photo shoot.
For a pig.
For a pig. And this was a 4-hour photo shoot.
Oh, wow.
You got your son's umbrellas, and it got hot in 1st of June. And so we had, I think, 3 different pigs, little size. But Wilbur wound up, he was the most gentle one and most responding and paid attention more than the rest of them did. You know,
photogenic.
Like photogenic. And so that's where it started. It hit. Well, I first took told the preacher at church, I said, I don't know if it's going anywhere, but they took a picture of this. So we took the pig to church for children's service. And the pig went to church 2 or 3 times. But after, it was July the 4th, in U.S. Today, there was this thing with my picture holding Wilbur. And that's kind of how it took off. And then Today Show called, and they wanted the flyers to New York, be on Today Show, and they'd already gotten with American Airlines, celebrity status for Wilbur. Well, we thought Wilbur would go in a cage. No, Wilbur's first class.
Wow.
Celebrity level. And you can hold him in your life. So I ain't holding this pig in my life on a plane. So we scratched that and told New York to come to us. So they came here with a satellite and did the Today Show in front of the house.
Wow.
Right there on Baker Road there. So that's how it started. And we got calls from everywhere. It was to save Wilbur. Afterwards, Co-op gave us a little hog house and a little house to put him in with Co-op on there. We had feed, but I've even got calls from a lot of radio stations out of Canada to be on the pig from little island of Samoa. Called this thing, but then we started. School was back in, so we started going. Schools were wanting them.
Yes, I know that was a big deal.
That was a big deal, and I mean, finally we did. Then when in Franklin, because Reba McEntire, Montgomery Gentry, they were voices in the movie, and they had a red carpet thing over there and invited us. We walked the red carpet with all these. Reba had her grandkids, and they all took a picture with Wilbur. But Wilbur would go on a leash. He's been into banks. We've been to Adam's place in the cafeteria and all that carpet. And I thought, oh, man, it's going to be bad. But it wasn't. But he was photogenic now.
So
we went to Wilson County Fair.
How long did Wilbur live?
He lived almost 13 years.
Is that
longest pig I ever had in
I was
my
going
life.
to ask you. Well, it sounds like he was pretty well pampered.
He was. He was always hand-fed. He wasn't. And we washed him. We had to go and do the buttermilk bath and wash him. And after we started going out, we did sunscreen on him. And we did he also had the book. And can't think of the book company out there on Memorial. They wanted to have and he had his own stamp We had his own paw, and we made a stamp out of it and had his name on it. So we'd sign books. And I tell Maury, what was his name? It's closed now on the right.
I'm
whatever the name.
Struggling as well.
It's going to be at 4 o'clock. Well, we got there at 3. They were already lined up at the door. And they say it's the largest book sign that ever had.
It was a pig.
We had a bale of straw and sit on.
Mr. Batey, I think I've laughed in this show more than I have the entire 2 years that Rick and I've been doing this. This has been so much fun.
But we covered a lot of school, even went for a book selling, what they do at libraries for sale books or raising money in the school. Anyway, went to Georgia. Well, a television station came up out of Atlanta.
Book fair.
Book fair.
Okay.
Book
yes,
fair.
Sir. Okay.
They was having one down there, one in Wilbur. I said, oh, okay. So we went to cross the border there down in Georgia, but Atlanta TV came up and got all of that Wilbur was there.
I was trying to find out about what year that was.
05, and I can tell you why. Usually when you build schools, there's always a big controversy on the land. Well, that's when they was looking at Brown's Chapel.
Mm-hmm.
It started, nobody paid no attention to that school. It was all on Wilbur. Wilbur had been all over that ground.
Christened it pretty well.
Yeah, oh, yes. Yes. Wilbur, you put him on, he'd jump up in the truck like a little dog.
Oh, wow.
Sit on the seat. Went to one funeral. Went to Jimmy Haynes' funeral. And only reason, it was on East Main Church of Christ here.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was Betsy Hull. She was there and said, how'd you get here so quick? Because her grandson was in Siegel School. Said, you just left the school. I said, yeah, where's Wilbur? And I said, he's out in the trailer. Well, it wasn't anything to do with Mr. Haynes' children, because Mr. Haynes had hogs. He'd get them from me so he could stay in the city, Greenbelt. And went out there and walking across the street on a leash. And that traffic light, it's like a 4-way stop. They all stopped to see the pig walk across the street and go up the step to the church.
So how much did Wilbur weigh when he passed?
He was probably about 560 pounds.
Wow. I don't guess he was on a leash anymore then, was he?
No, we had a harness on him. You couldn't hold him, but he'd go out and he'd just follow you.
That's
Kids
funny.
rode him. We had him come from Lower Alabama up here sometime to see Wilbur.
That's cool.
That's amazing.
And one of the amazing ones was, what's Mr. Murfreesboro? Bill Wilson's, Floyd Wilson, was down in Miami at a barbecue thing, and they had a picture. No, he took a picture of me and Wilbur and saw it down there. It was on a barbecue place. Picture of me and Wilbur blowed up on the wall.
Well, rest in peace, Wilbur.
Yeah, rest in peace.
You got 30 ancestors buried in Wilbur in the thing.
Yeah.
I can just imagine.
Yeah.
That's awesome. You listen to John L. Batey. I hope you're enjoying our show so far. We're going to take our second break and we'll be right back with you in just a minute.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-457-6060. That's 1-800-457-6060. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-457-6060. That's 1-800-457-6060.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
Hi, this is Chip Walters with Exit Realty Bob Lamb & Associates. You might know me as the voice of the Blue Raiders, but I want to be your trusted advisor in real estate. Whether you're buying or selling, it's time to choose Chip. Do you have a growing family and need to upsize? Are you an empty nester now and need to downsize? Are you thinking of selling your current home but just worried you can't find something else? Well, it's time to choose Chip. I'm looking to be your trusted advisor in real estate. I'm Chip Walters with Exit Realty Bob Lamb & Associates.
At Bud's Tire Pros, we sell all major brands of tires, and we invite you to stop by today for that next set of tires. Or maybe you need us to check out your vehicle before you head out of town. We offer everything from brakes to batteries, alignments, and more. No appointments necessary, just stop on by.
I'm Allison Mitchell with Bud's Tire Pros. We're located on East Main Street, exactly 3 miles from the town square, 1 mile past Rutherford Boulevard. Visit us online at budstireprostn.com.
You don't have hot dogs or apple pie or no Chevrolet to drive, but we have some hickory smoked wings you're just dying to try. You'll try them, you'll like them, you'll give some to a friend. So on a dare, just stop on by and bring in a friend. Slick Pig Barbecue, 1920 East Main.
When severe weather strikes, we break in.
A tornado watch is in effect for Rutherford County.
The most up-to-date weather information.
We'll be here with you on radio and with Rutherford Weather video channels as we continue to track this storm. As it
Get 10-point details on severe and impactful weather in Rutherford County with Rutherford Weather.
A severe thunderstorm watch is in effect for Rutherford County.
Listen to Rutherford Weather updates on WGNS and watch on YouTube and Facebook by following at RUCO Weather. That's RUCO Weather. This is the Roundtable from News Radio WGNS on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna. Listen and watch at WGNSradio.com.
And good morning and welcome back to the third and final segment of Tuesday Mornings with Rick and Wayne. And it's certainly been our pleasure to have Mr. John L. Batey this morning. And this has just been so much fun, Mr. Batey. Thank you.
Well, you're welcome. I'm glad I still got a memory left.
I resemble that remark, by the way. Talk about a little, with the growth here in Rutherford County, the agricultural community is shrinking almost daily. Talk about farm life today.
Farm life today, well, I go back in 81 when Nissan came in. That's when really it changed. And it took 10 years. Agriculture has still been the number one industry in this county the whole time until 1991. And that's when manufacturing became. And you could see farming. I did all of 1 Mile Lane, all of Amiable Road from the interstate back to 1 Mile Lane, and that's was just, you'd lose 300 or 400 acres every spring. All in there is taken and being developed, and I've watched it slowly creep along, and more houses, more schools, more infrastructure of everything. It's changed. It's too late to lock the door.
Sure.
Come in, you've got to change with it. It's just like when cotton went out. If you're producing, if you ain't got a market to sell, you got to go to something else. When Balch Brothers Newhoff, all of them shut down, taking hogs and killing hogs in Nashville, where they just kind of killed the hog industry. Seen the milk industry go. We don't have used to be 200 dairies in this county. There's just one left. MTSU's Farms only dairy in this whole county.
I did not realize that.
Yeah, they're the only one. So when you lose your market, you go to something else, and you keep looking. There's still a lot of corn, soybeans. There is still cotton in here. At one time, Rutherford County was the largest cotton-producing county in the state of Tennessee. That's before they drained the swamps in West Tennessee or cleaned up a lot of that area because it was here. It is still viable. We rent a lot of land, but most of it is leased. His kids or family that just don't want to sell it yet, but they're not farming. They're doing something else to keep the land going. It's but it's getting it's shrinking.
Yes.
Do y'all take visitors now for anything? I know there's usually
no, we don't do any anymore. We had see, COVID really kind of ended that deal. We started in 2012. If we went out of the hog business, we stayed in and started processing our own meat, and doing good until 2020 when they shut down the processing plant. Shut down. Well, we had pretty good storage, we thought, but the last time we went, we was going every month, regular, killing hogs, bringing meat back to sale. And last one we went in February, never got the meat back to September.
Oh, wow.
And we were out. We had nothing. And we got that, sold that, and they shut down, so we just kind of phased out. We tried another manufacturer in Kentucky, but that didn't work out. You got to have consistency of your product. And for 8 years, we had good consistency. And I was no additives or anything. It's just all natural. And that, I learned a lot. That I didn't know a lot of the migraine headaches come from your nitrites and all, your blurred vision. And we switched over to celery seasoning. Didn't affect the taste whatsoever. It was just stuff that's in the meat.
Wow.
And I think Whole Foods used to be the only ones you could still find some no additives. I'm not sure on that now.
I got a friend that he does cattle out towards the Lewisburg, Cornerville area, but by the time he transports them all the way, he's taking them all the way out to Beech Grove War Trace to get them processed now, and that's quite a haul.
Well, you got to have it lined up about a year in advance.
That's right, to have your slots.
To have your slots opened,
That's right.
open for it.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's there's not any processing, doing a cattle processing to get in is so much red tape and restrictions and all this, zoning and everything. Your smaller counties can probably do it, but it's going to have to be an effort like a region or something to go in.
You past chairman of the local Farm Bureau Board and been a member, I guess, all your life?
All my life, yeah. I remember going over here on one Vine Street, over here, across from Murfreesboro. Well, I don't know what bank it is now. From old James K. Polk Hotel, I put it that way.
Yes.
There's a little library over there, and that's where Robert Rose came in from Wilson County and started, and from there and built building down here on Broad Street in the 60s, and I was president of the Young Farmers and Homemakers back in, been on the board. So I've been on the board 64 years now.
Wow.
And I'm an emeritus status now. But in the young
Are you
farmers,
looking to change? We got a couple of insurance guys in here. If you want, we'll give you a quote.
Well, insurance is separate from us. We rent them the building.
That's right.
We rent them the building. But I served on the National Young Farmers and Ranchers Committee for 2 years. And one of those boys, John Brock, he became Secretary of Agriculture, and 2 others in there became senators from their states.
Wow. How many farms, and I guess you have to decide, acreage-wise, how many farms do you perceive to still be here in the county?
What time period?
Right now, I guess.
Oh, right now. I don't know. Really, the number is bigger because these 15 acres, 20 acres,
right,
are farms.
Okay.
There's still some big farm. More of it is going out towards your Rockville, Eagleville, but all that's changing.
That's right.
You said y'all still have a little over 400 acres?
We got 400 acres worth, about 1,700 more.
Okay. Are there farms here still larger than you now?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You see them fighting, though, to try to keep it. I mean, I get my horse feed out in Rockville at Celebration Seeds, the old mill out there.
Yeah.
And, they struggle, but they keep that old thing going, and it's pretty neat to see the feed you're going to put in your horses, and it comes out and it's still warm where it's coming out, and they're bagging it right there and throwing it back of your truck. You just
wish your food was that pure, huh?
I sure do.
Well, you don't have Raymond Maxwell like you had down at Smyrna there with
That's right.
new trainer in the feed. We used to go down there all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, we got a few minutes left. What else you want to talk about?
Well, I was thinking about Maxwell and going to Smyrna down there.
Uh-huh.
The first movie I ever went to, it was in Smyrna. And I talked to Uncle into taking my sister and I down there, and it was King Kong. And that was back in the...
was that Fay Ray? The
yes,
girl?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then up at the... But they had a movie theater down there.
Now, the one on Front Street, they got it open now for events. It's not going to do movies, but they at least have done enough restoration to allow people to start occupying it again.
Well, tell about Miss Batey. How did y'all meet?
Oh, we met at the Blackman Barbecue. See, I was the president of that year, and I think that was one of the homecoming things that one of the governors had during a homecoming, and it was always kind of a homecoming for the Blackman barbecue, and I was in charge of it. And we did it, and her mother and daddy used to live on Manson Pike. Well, I knew her mother and daddy and her older sister. She brought them out there and introduced. Had both daughters with her, Sally and then Melissa, and introduced us. We were square dancing back in and danced, but if you're in charge, you're everywhere to cover. You got a lot of things to cover. And so it was a few months later, and I said, well, I'll call you sometime. Well, in the summer farming, I mean, you be busy, you can lay your crop by about in August. But in August, I did call. It was, and we went out. But we met at the Blackman Barbecue.
That and the Rockville 4th of July picnic, to the premier political opportunities for candidates, bode very well.
We some of them want to do it again, but we had it at the community center. That's where it worked best. The last 2 years we did it at the Grove up here at the Williamson Farm. And COVID, that's when we just shut it down for COVID. And Rockville has continued, but we had 70 years.
Wow. Fun time.
Fun time. Yeah, it was always a fun time for candidates. We've had from the Al Gores to McWhorter usually out there. You had a lot of. You had more probably at Lee Victory's party than.
Probably. Yeah, I know. It was always a great time. I know.
Yes.
I always had to campaign there as well because if you wasn't there, then you were probably in trouble.
You was in trouble. You was talked about. Well, where was he?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Mr. Batey, God bless you. I'd like to tell our guests for all of the activities they're involved in our county community, but you and your family have been such stalwarts of our county community, and thank you.
Well, I thank you and Rick for inviting me, and hope everybody didn't turn you off.
Well, this was a fun show for us, so I hope everybody else enjoyed it as much as we did.
That's what Ted Batey told me last night. Said you'll have fun with my friends.
Thank you. That's
Thank you.
nice of you.
Everybody have a great week. Hope you enjoyed our show, and we'll be back again next week as usual. And
stay cool.
Got a little rain coming in tomorrow.
Yeah.
I think Brian might touch on that here in just a minute, but
hopefully
we need it for sure. But everybody have a great week and take care.
WGNS, Murfreesboro, Smyrna.